Okay, one of the common questions that I got just now is whether we should or shouldn't sell that pin bar. Obviously, I'm not comfortable selling this pin bar. Of course, price is exactly where we like actually to sell, mainly because this is the highest point that we can get. But I don't like this pin bar. I don't like how this is probably the smallest candle of them all around this, if we ignore today's candle. Okay, and one other thing, the pin bar didn't stick out of the zone. Notice how I've drawn that zone there. It didn't stick out nicely out of the zone. That would have been nice because I know the stop loss is there. There's just a lot of things happening outside that zone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I believe there's a video named The Zone on this particular channel. And of course, do not forget to head over to Telegram. There's a Vindi Telegram channel. Alternatively, just go there and type Vindi Forex. You should be able to find a channel there. That's where I post most of the videos that do not make it to YouTube. Of course, they are there on Telegram, the raw videos, explaining other things. And that's where, again, I announce about the free Wednesday classes. As a matter of fact, we're going to have one today. All right. So that's where I put all the announcements and, of course, the link for joining that class is going to be sent there. That's when you can get to ask questions and they do all those things. Otherwise, yes, let's continue. I'm not comfortable with this pin. Okay, pin bar. Of course, this is exactly what we'd like to sell. Alternatively, maybe you are looking at this from a different perspective. Let me see if I can get this. Maybe you're looking at this from H4, or you're looking at this from 30 minutes. Let's just go to 30 minutes. You're looking at this particular guy to say, hey, okay, this thing is sitting at our previous daily high. Of course, almost at our previous daily high. But what I'd like you to look for, it's actually evidence as to whether you should sell or not evidence coming from daily. That's why I'm saying I'm not comfortable with that as evidence to sell. But if I can see something down here, because we're on that sell zone, that's when I can say sharp and I'm going to take this particular guy. But what we did, or just what some of the members did yesterday, because we had a pin bar on H4, that's actually what we took advantage of. This pin bar, if you look at it, it's much better than that one. Okay, it's much better. That it did stick out, almost half of it actually sticked out of that whole area and actually took out stop losses from those guys previously. Okay, so this is one pin bar that we actually took. And if you look at the range of this is quite big compared to these candles that are surrounding it. Okay, but with this one, this is the smallest. That's what I'm trying to point out. So obviously our entry was somewhere up there and the stop loss is just outside there. And this candle, of course, some members were panicking when price kept going up and were like, man, I need this thing, blah blah. Of course, the only thing that I said was this. That's important because I do not drive price. You do not drive price. Your mentor doesn't drive price. You like it or not, price is gonna move in whatever direction that it wants. Despite the strategy, despite whatever that you're using, price is gonna move. So respect yourself and respect the market. Calculate your risk. Of course, there is a video where I've shared a tool that you can use to calculate your risk. Go ahead and look for that video here in the channel. I believe it has something to do with blowing accounts. Just the title. Just scroll down there. Scroll down there. Oh, okay, let me just link that up here. That's where click on that pop-up banner there. Then you should be able to see that video. Of course, now if you look at that, this is where we got in. Lucky enough, this candle actually paid us nicely because always move our stop loss to break even. But if you're one of those people who says it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go up, and you are in profit, you will end up leaving money on the table. And if you're trading a small account, very small account, which majority of the people who are trading Nasdaq, they trade very small accounts, you are most likely to blow if you do not manage your trades nicely. So trade management as well, risk management, very important. Trade management is also important as well. So please make sure that you master both and make sure that you implement both. But in the case of this one, this is different. This was a nice one, although we almost got stopped out, but yeah, we're able to get out of that. What to do next? Of course, with respect to these boxes, we are sitting on our daily high. We are almost at our daily high, and we're sitting on that daily resistance area that we've marked from the gap. If you remember this gap, of course, we've been talking about that quite a lot. So unfortunately, guys, at this point, I do not have anything that I can lean on to say this is my signal. Can you see this? This is not quite what I'd like to see. That's not a pin bar that I'd like to see. Okay, hence I'm not gonna be looking at those things. This one that is forming right now, of course, there's still a little bit of time before this thing closes. There's still a little bit of time. I mean, look at that. There's still 23 minutes, which is a very long time. Okay, and I don't like how it's not sticking out. I don't like the fact that price went down, then gave us that as some sort of a signal candlestick there. But if this was at the extreme high, it would have been nice. Okay, so if you look at this one, at that time it was sticking out at extreme highs, but this one is almost only a small portion of it is sticking out. If we to do that, only that portion is sticking out. With this one, that portion was sticking out, so the chances of it taking in pending orders and hitting stop losses and all that, they were high. Okay, but with this one, it's actually the opposite. All right, so it's much easier to do this particular pin bars if you understand what you are looking for, or at least if you have a set of rules that you follow before you enter. Of course, other people are probably looking at this as a W pattern. Okay, or others are looking at this approaching it from harmonic patterns. Okay, but in order for you to find your entries, you need to have very strict entry rules. You need to have very strict entry rules. I cannot say that, stress that enough. That's very, very important. But if we are looking at this from H4, there isn't anything extreme that we can use as a reversal signal. So, but the one that we used yesterday obviously was that pin bar, and we're able to check that. But if you sold here, this is the dangers of selling a pin bar here. If you sold here, you would have suffered this move. Similar to that daily shandies, if you sold that pin bar today, you have suffered the move. If you sold this pin bar in the morning, you are suffering from this move, or probably blew your account. If you are, I don't think somebody who blew the account is gonna watch this video after blowing. Yeah, maybe, but only few. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Mara, sometimes I speak nonsense. Why it's yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe let's just breathe for 2 minutes. All right. So of course the daily highs, daily lows there. They're just giving us structure, nothing very important. But what happens to those who are trend trading? Where are they? Let's see if you can find these people right there, maybe in 30 minutes. Let me just zoom in and see if we can draw a trend somewhere there. There we go. We're only using the 2 points, equation of a straight line. Okay. So should price come down, obviously the buyers are going to be waiting somewhere there, or maybe a little bit of a dip. This is where buyers are going to probably start accumulating from. And those who are trading harmonic patterns, I believe this will be maybe the 80%, which is the first TP or whatever the case might be. Let me see if I can pull that out. I don't know what kind of harmonic pattern this will be. Okay, the 38, 50%, which is most likely to be their first check profits. It's around, exactly around that particular region. That's what they'll be scaling out. And them checking the profits might introduce a little bit of a buy pressure back to the upside. But of course, we are sitting up there, and maybe the Nasdaq Open could give us that sort of a big sell momentum to the downside and coming from this zone. But what I'd like to do, if I was to look at that, I'd like to see maybe a little bit of a push up to check out stop losses, including stop losses coming from the H4 pin bar before price can actually. This is the H4 pin bar that I was talking about. It's embedded somewhere there. Of course, I'd like to see that happening before price does something like that. Of course, price sticking out a little bit outside that zone, checking out all possible stop losses that are stacked out there. Of course. trading that daily and doing that. That's what I'd like to see. At least if during the Nasdaq open, that's what I'd like to see. A little bit of a spike to the upside, collecting all stop losses and giving me a nice signal, probably around 30 minutes. If I can get that signal, then or 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna see if I can short this particular guy. But why am I shorting instead of buying? Mainly because I'm still guided by the same area of resistance that I'm waiting for. But am I just gonna sell? Hell no. I have to wait for a signal. That's what basically differentiates um and what I do from what others do. I do not sell because price is on resistance. I need to wait for a confirmation as to whether I should sell. And in that case, with that being said, that confirmation is nothing but a bunch of strategies being stacked together around that. Staking a bunch of strategies doesn't necessarily mean that price will move in that direction. What did I say? Price will go in whatever direction that it chooses to move. But make sure that in that case, you have a strategy that you're following so that you build confidence in your system, so that you have that confidence, so that you don't trade out of fear. Mainly you trade out of fear mostly because you do not know what you're doing, or maybe somebody told you it's going down and you do not know why it's going down. But it's much better when you have an idea as to, okay, I'm selling around this point because of 1 2 3 4 5. I'm buying around this point because of 1 2 3 4 5. This is where I'm gonna put my stop loss. This is where I'm gonna put my take profit. It's you planning everything. You know that this trade could go wrong as a stop loss exists and it's a calculated stop loss. Otherwise, I don't want to start preaching. Don't forget to like, dislike if you don't like what I'm doing, or you think I should be selling this, got 7,000 rands or 5,000 rands. Just dislike. If you just dislike the person who's talking, just dislike once more. And if you like the content, of course, hit like and don't forget to subscribe and share the videos to those who are out there, maybe those who are struggling, or maybe those who have been lied to. Show these things. Maybe the videos might help here and there. Otherwise, sharp the telegram link, it's down in the description down below in case you wanna um download other videos and other some of the indicators. They are there on the telegram channel. Otherwise, sharp